Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm here with Gordon.
It's me. I'm Gord.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, brother.
I'm a Canadian.
You're
Much
Canadian.
more to say about that. I'm a Canadian, 100% Canadian. I was born and raised Canadian, but I spent 27 years in the military. Various stuff in the military. I did a lot of traveling with the military. I've been all over Europe. I've been all over the Middle East. Been all over Canada. Yeah, really enjoyed my career. I got out in about 2008. Got out 2008 after 27 years, and I thought I was going to retire. Didn't happen. Boss that I had in the military, he got a hold of me and says, "Stop sitting around eating Cheetos all your life, and I got a job for you." So then I went and got a job, and ever since then I've been pretty nice career. Yeah, pretty nice. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the military and stuff too, what was the one thing that you really kind of I guess loved or enjoyed doing? Like, I guess traveling to all the fancy places has to be an amazing thing. I know for so long everybody's telling me you gotta travel, you gotta do it for yourself, and I'm like, what does that mean? I've only really been in my town besides like maybe a vacation to Vegas or Hawaii, but
Yeah.
Vegas was the most interesting, I would say, when it
Oh yeah.
comes to. I wish I could go there now that I'm above the age of 21 because I feel like I would enjoy it a hell of a lot more. But
Yeah.
I remember I came across a woman that was she was smoking a cigarette because everybody in casinos smoked a cigarette, but she was
And
like
yeah.
half asleep at the slot machine, just mindlessly keeps pulling the lever.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
can people really be addicted to gambling? And then I
Oh.
worked at a casino and dude, I downloaded like 7 casino games on my phone the first day I worked there. I was like, yo,
Oh
it
yeah.
is so enticing to see people win money where you're just like, let me do it one time. And then that goes to another time and then another time.
So what casino did you work at?
There's one in my town called Ocean Downs.
Ocean
Um,
Downs.
I mean, it was nice. It was a good job for a while, but I'm not a suit man. Like, you put a belt on me and you put hey, Robbie, tuck in your shirt. My brain starts going, no, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I actually for a little while on the side I wrote software for slot machines.
Really.
Yeah.
Now
I worked for a
that
company.
that was something I didn't know a whole lot about. I thought it was just like a machine that they just put money in, but there's a whole
Oh
thing to it.
no.
I was
Oh yeah.
security for the morning shift. So imagine at 5 a.m., you're hearing everybody open up the slot machines and we have to
Yeah.
protect the people and watch them.
Yeah.
For 2 hours straight, you're just hearing, It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I definitely want to find something else to do.
Yeah. You got to pull the cash boxes and bring them to the money room, right? The cash
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
That
Yep.
is like a movie scenario. If you want to talk about, like, I remember because when you type in all these codes, you have to answer a phone and call into the phone, and the main guy who's security surveillance has to let you into the door where the money
Yeah.
is. And when you
Yeah.
go into there with the money, all the money pickers, they have to change their clothing. And as they're stripping down out of their jumpsuits, they're stripping down basically to their underwear. And I
Yeah.
thought it would be smart on my first day to be like, usually I have to pay for this type of action. Nobody freaking laughed, dude. I felt
Oh
like
no.
such a loser. I was like, wow.
Oh no.
I was like, I thought that joke was funny. And as soon as we got out of there, they all started going, that was funny, but you got to know that they're listening to us. And I was like,
Yep.
oh, I hope they got a good chuckle out of that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to put your coveralls on, right? The no pocket coveralls.
Well, even with, kind of going from various jobs and stuff, like, where do you feel like you found the fit?
Where I am right now.
And what exactly is that?
I've literally found out everything that I've been doing ever since I was 20 years old has led up to right now.
Really?
And I can look back at every experience that I have every day says, wow. And you draw experiences from the past, and even the hard times. When people are going through hard times, I find you learn the best things during the hard times, right?
Yeah, it
And
seems like you need to go through that pressure to kind of, they always say pressure turns into a diamond, but I
yeah,
tell people, like, I look back at all those moments that you have in your life where it's like, I just want someone to help me. I want to get through this. And I look at those now and I'm like, I would never trade those in because they gave me the most knowledge and wisdom that I could ever pull out of anything that I
yeah.
made it through that.
And that's when a lot of time I get people calling me for a tarot reading. 99% of the time. You know, they're looking for that second opinion, or they're looking for that little bit of guidance. A lot of people say, yeah, do a reading for me, whatever. And a lot of the times it's when we have a bottle of wine out. So a lot of people will find out that I read tarot. And you got a couple glasses of wine. You, I said, yeah, but and I don't mind doing that for friends and family. But I find a lot of people, when they're really stuck and there's that wall, and they could either choose like blue, like you want the blue pill or the red pill.
Yeah.
And they really, really don't know what to do. That's when they come for a tarot reading. A lot of the times, though, they said, well, you didn't tell me what to do. I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you your options and how things are going to play out in the future. It doesn't matter where you go. And a lot of times, I don't know what their issues are. I just go, it comes into my head. And I don't know why. And I literally think everybody's got this gift. Reading tarot, anybody can read tarot. Literally, I've taken people and within 2 hours of reading tarot. Once I sit with them and I show them, a lot of people like for example, I'm just going to pull a card out of the deck. Oh, look at it. Okay, this is the King of Rods. A lot of people say the King of the Rods means this. It doesn't. The King of Rods has a theme, but it's dependent on you kind of, it does have a theme to the card. There's a bunch of symbolism within the card as well. But what does a card mean for that person that you're reading for?
So, so I actually have a few questions here. One, I'm like, obviously I'm a kid, so I'm like, the cards, the whole thing kind of, It's a little bit over my head, but I see where it fits in, because I think a lot of times, like you mentioned, people go through something severe, or they go through something and they really just need light and guidance. But the problem with where you say there's a lot of people that read tarot, it's always selling something. When I was talking to your wonderful wife, and she was like, my husband, he'll read tarot cards for you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get my tarot read. I'm so happy. Mostly, I love the cards. They're like Pokemon cards to me. When I look at them, the designs on them, the art is beautiful. And some of them are, and some of them are so different, where it's like, whoa, like some of them can be really, really scary, and some can really, really be enlightening when you look at them, like the type of design that goes into them. But I told her I was talking to people trying to get a tarot card reader, and everybody would message me, the ancestors. And I'm like, oh, like, what do you want? Do you just want debit or money? And they go, we take debit cards. And I'm like, it does the whole realm a disservice when there's people out there that are actually doing it because they actually want to help people, not just try and make a quick buck.
Exactly. A lot of times it's a lot of, it's usually, it's not always monetary. Somebody will say, hey, I just bake some water, because if they don't have the money, a lot of people would be in financial distraught with this COVID thing and everything. Weeks ago, I had somebody, I just baked some awesome sourdough bread. Would you like a loaf of bread? I said, I love sourdough. And I did a reading for sourdough bread, but it's that exchange right now, right? And that's exactly what it is. But if you don't want to pay me, you don't want to pay me, just as long as you come away with something. Just as long as you come away with a better feeling that there's a better future for you.
You figure the payoff really is kind of that you're helping, or you're maybe affecting somebody. I consider that worth more than anything. I don't think a lot of people understand that. We see paper, we see things that make transactions and work in this working world. But I'm like, there's so much different, I guess, emotions that you can get, and especially an emotion of satisfaction of the soul when it comes to the fact of, like, when I do a podcast with somebody and they tell me how much fun they had on it, just a random fun conversation, I feel like that is like the biggest gift of all time. I feel like a kid on Christmas Day. I'm like, oh my God, I got this present I got to open up.
So before we get into the reading, and you talked about art, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So every deck is different. So if anybody out there wants to read tarot, just go to a shop, like any shop that sells tarot cards or books, or a bookstore. You can go to Indigo, or you can go to what do you have, Barnes and Noble down in the States, or
do they still make Barnes and Noble?
Je ne sais pas. Have no idea. They did when last time I was there.
It's like Blockbuster. They all disappeared.
Exactly. Maybe go to some place where they actually, like, not a witchcraft store or anything, but go to a store where it's a spiritual.
Like an apothecary.
Yeah, exactly. And then just look at a number of cards. Don't say, oh, I want that. But your deck has to really speak to you. So let's say if you have a native ancestry, then you might want to pick a deck that has like a native tone to it, or the secret wolf deck or whatever. Look at the decks, and you got to pick one out that actually resonates with you. You know, a lot of people say start with the basic deck is called a Rider Waite deck. Rider Waite back in the early 1900s came up with a Rider Waite deck, and it's very basic and it's easy to explain. The numbers are there, the colors are there, and there's lots and lots and lots of books out there about how to read the Rider Waite deck. And that's where everybody starts. And whenever I teach a class, I always tell everybody, bring a Rider Waite deck. And somebody will always bring, well, I brought my secret whatever deck, my Celtic 5-coin deck, whatever. I said, let's all use the exact same deck. You get the feeling, and then we'll go from there. Then you go find what resonates with you. But if you want to learn on your own, find a deck, like I said, that really, really resonates with you, that the colors pop to you, the symbolism. Oh, I like the way that symbol are. Or if you like wolves, get a 3-wolf deck, whatever.
Is it kind of like if I was walking down like a store, let's say, if I'm going to choose a tarot deck? Because I notice on Instagram when I look at different tarot card readers and they're pulling out, they all have different cards.
Yes.
But I'm looking at them and I'm like, there are some that I'm just like, like that's not my type of art. And then there's some that I'm like distinctly drawn where I'm like, that is a Mona Lisa of cards right there. Like, I know that sounds like a little, for a lot of people listening, like it's just cards. I'm like, not really, because like I come from like, I collect cards all the time. I think everybody from sports cards, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, anybody can relate to collecting something. And that is what it is. And some of these, you find a certain collection. I remember I had some of the weakest Pokemon, but the art was so cool on them where I'm like, I just like collecting and staring at it, to be honest with you.
So, and you brought up a bit of the history. Like, do you own a deck of cards?
Yeah, 52 deck.
You have tarot.
A regular 52 deck is tarot cards.
A regular 52 deck is actually a tarot deck. So way back about the 1440s, way back in the 1440s, this is the earliest recorded known time that tarot was being reading. So about the 1440s, all the nobles, all the kings, and all the people of noblehood actually had. They call him a sorcerer, they call him a whatever. They always had somebody on staff to help them tell what, like, are the people, are they going up, are there pitchforks and torches going to be? Am I going to be taken down? Am I going to be killed? Like, they always had somebody to help them make decisions, including the queen, right? So there was a deck of 22 called the nobles. Well, sorry, the trumps. And they actually that's what they read with. And only the people of noblehood would actually have that reading, or they have that guidance, right? Where should I invest my money? Should I attack this land? Should I take over this kingdom? Whatever. So that's where it's
kind of like an oracle.
Exactly, an oracle. Exactly. That's where it started. But then again, in around the 1700s, there is a priest, a known priest, that actually came out, and he's the very first time that said that this is the messages from the devil. If you haven't taken on the word of the Lord, these cards are messages from the devil, blah, blah, blah. And that's how it kind of spread. So the cards actually went underground for quite a while, like about 100 years.
Is that because, like, when they talk about instead of, if you're a king or something, you're looking to cards, or if you're looking to something for guidance or messages, if you're thinking that it's coming from God, it seems from a noble place. But then if somebody says that it's now demons speak into your ears, you're thinking that every move that you're now going to make based on these cards are going to be things that are in the plot to a bigger scheme of evil.
Exactly. So for example, I'll just pull out like the 5 of Pentacles. Right there and then they said, oh, the pentacle is a 5-pointed star, so therefore that's the devil's messages. That's the devil's. It's about devilhood, and it's got nothing to do with devilhood, nothing at all. Then there's like there's a death card, but there's a card called the Hierophant, and Hierophant in Latin is Pope. So there's a mixture of everything. Long story short, the cards had a bit of a resurgence, and it's got nothing to do with witchcraft. It has nothing to do with devil worship, nothing like that. But there are people who follow like a Wiccan life, and they have a Wiccan deck because it resonates with them, and that's great. But I have like 35 different decks.
Are they all okay? So I know the decks are probably different, but what are the main, I guess, categories of cards? Like if you have the death card, you have like what are the names of them?
So, so you have what they call, they're separated in two different parts. The first 22 are called the major arcana. So arcana, again, is Latin for major life. So, those are major life changes. So if you get a major arcana, let's say you get a reading with lots of major arcana in it, these 22 cards, that means there's some pretty major changes that are going to be happening in your life. Then there's the other half of the 78 deck, which are the minor arcana, the other 56, which are very close to the 52, believe it or not. So they're called minor arcana, and those are just the minor things that are going to happen into your life. They're not going to alter your life in any way, but they're just the minor things, the day-to-day stuff, like, relationships, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So then the deck are divided up, except for the major arcana. The minor arcana are divided up into 4 different courts, we would call them. So you know how in your major deck, on a deck of cards, you got your hearts, you got your spades, you've got your clubs, and you got your diamonds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The diamonds actually line up to be okay, let's start with the clubs. Clubs actually line up with the rods in the deck. Your hearts actually line up with your pentacles, and your diamonds line up. So everything lines up with a certain part of the deck itself.
With a certain suit.
With a certain suit, exactly. So that's why when the actual pictured cards, that's when they went down below, that's when they went underground. They started designing them like card games. So they started designing card games. So when the King's Men came around, or the police, or the Sherwood police, whatever, came around to see what you're doing, oh, we're just playing a game of cards. You're just playing a game of cards. And they would invent these games like base poker or gin rummy, whatever. They'd invent these games just so that and it would involve everybody. Oh, we just invented a game. It's just a game. But then they would be using them on the side for reading tarot.
Kind of like a hidden kind of guise, because it seemed like it was witchcraft back then.
Yeah. So they actually call it cartomancy. So cartomancy. So a lot of the old school readers will just use an average deck of cards. That's exactly what they use.
Huh, that's so strange how our minds have evolved so much from back then. I mean, the fact we're canceling it because it's demon culture and all these types of things, and now we're using it like it seems so normalized now. Like back then, it was kept in secret.
Yeah. So I got a couple of decks of cards. Did you want to see some of the different art, or do you want to?
I kind of want to see like what's in your mind, what's the coolest one, and then what's the one that's like, this art's okay.
Okay. Let me.
Because even we all got a favorite, even if it's the death card.
The best card you want in every reading.
A death card?
The best card. You want the death card.
What? Well, for the love of God, when you're reading mine, please give me the death card.
The reason being is that it's the number 13 of the major arcana. That means, like I said, usually 99% of the people come to me have a problem, where there's an issue, or they're in a dilemma, blue pill, red pill, right? If you get the death card, it depends where in the reading that let's say they're having a hard time in finances at that present time. If you get the death card in the financial area of their reading, that means the death to their situation is going to stop and it's going to improve.
Okay. So do you need to know any information into my life to be able to enhance the reading?
Nope. Yep. And also a lot of times, every reading that I do, I don't even look at the person. Because a lot of people, like, for example, when you see certain readers will say, ooh, I feel that you have a father that passed. Is that true? And they'll look at the person and they'll kind of blink, or they'll give a facial cue, or like say, okay, maybe not, maybe like a father figure. So that's called cold reading. I don't look at the person. So whenever I do a reading, I won't even look at the screen. I just stare off to a blank space. I don't let my mind wander, and I don't even think. I just look at the deck and say, okay, what does this mean to this person?
Do you kind of try and go off your senses a little bit too, of like, can you sense the emotion or the type of vibe that a person is giving off? That's going to make it difficult for you probably doing it through Zoom, right?
Nope, not at all. I do phone readings all the time. Okay. All the time, because it's not about me, it's about you.
All right.
Okay. The deck that I use is a Morgan Greer deck. And the reason why I like the Morgan Greer deck is because I like the colors. I just like the art.
It looks like Old Maid.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
art style, the cartoon, the colors they use is like kind of royalty type that they used back in, like, if you ever seen the TV show or thing on Netflix called Enchanted, it's like a little
Yeah.
cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the art, I like the colors. And when I first picked out this deck, like I took my course and I used a rider weight deck. So this is a rider weight deck that everybody starts off with. And it's very, very basic. It's very basic, lots of yellows, and you get feelings off the colors because certain colors mean everything. So everybody starts with this deck. Like whenever I teach a course, everybody brings this deck. Oh, that's a good card too.
That's the death deck.
No, that's Ten of Swords. That's actually pretty good.
I was about to say he looks pretty dead.
Yeah, this is one of the worst cards you can get. But so everybody kind of starts off with the rider weight. So if anybody wants to go out reading, get yourself a rider weight deck because there's lots of really good books out there. First thing is read the book, find out what the base of the card, what it means, just the base of the card, and then come up with your own meaning for the card. So I have certain cards that people like that they say, oh, it's my marriage card. It's my cheater card. Actually, you got somebody cheating on you in your life. Okay. So that's right away. And this is one of my coolest decks, and I rarely use it. This is my, do you know who Klimt is?
Klimt, no.
Klimt. He's actually a very famous artist. And this deck actually costed quite a bit. Looks like $400 deck.
Holy crap, that's more than I've ever paid for a pack of cards.
You see that?
Oh, dude, that's like Japanese art tradition.
Yeah, it's every card. Every card is laced with leaf gold.
Wow.
So that's my shiny deck.
You should be wearing gloves right now.
Well, you can buy these decks everywhere. This is a very, very common deck, Klimt. If you look at, like, if you Google Klimt, he's very popular with art. So there's different types of decks. But like I said, just find one that resonates with you. Okay.
Or do you ever feel like you're drawn to a certain card more than the others? Like when you pass your hand over it or something, do you ever feel like one strongly pulls towards you? Like can you read your own cards?
Oh, I do. I read my cards monthly. I say, so what's my next month gonna be like? And it's pretty close. The thing is, I can't put my own judgment into it. Say, oh my God, I got this great opportunity. What's gonna happen? And if I get a bad card, I say, that's not right. Maybe then it might not be a good situation. Though I don't live my life by the cards. I just take, let's say I'm gonna travel. So Jen and I, a year ago, we spent a lot of time in New Orleans. And so last year we went down to New Orleans for a couple of weeks. And I said, ooh, this is gonna be a great trip. I can't wait. How's this trip gonna pan out, et cetera, et cetera. And I did a quickie reading, what I call my 3-card reading. And there was kind of an ominous feeling at the time. And I said, okay, I'll just take that in hand, kind of ominous, but I'll just take it in hand. And then as we did travel, we got bumped on a flight, Delta. We got bumped off a flight. Then we got delayed. Then the Uber that was supposed to pick us up didn't pick us up. So I had problems. There was a charge on my card. So there was, I just, okay, now I see this ominous stuff happened. But once you got into the vacation, once we got to our hotel, everything was fine. But it doesn't say this is exactly what's going to happen. It's just, take caution,
Dude, I would be such a hypochondriac when it comes to flying on an airplane. I would do a tarot card reading every flight before and even on it just to make sure I'm going to get there safely. That scares the crap out of me, airplanes.
Yeah, I do. Last year, I spent most of last year in the Middle East. And before I went, I always say, how's this next trip going to work out? How's this next trip going to work out? And without using the cards, so the cards do have a meaning, but we also have to put our gut feeling into it. So it's not so much, like I said, a card will have whatever. So this has got the base meaning for this card, for the 7 of Cups. It's all about emotions. So cups got everything to do about emotion, which is actually cups line up to the hearts in a regular deck. So this is actually, 7 of Cups has got everything to do about your past dreams and a dream life. But what does that mean for the person? And it depends where it lands within the reading. So somebody say, oh, this means that you're going to have some wicked dreams. So this means that, the man of your dreams, whatever's going to come along. But it depends where it lays within the reading. Because there's always different areas. There's a past, present, financial, future, basis of the person who's sitting in front of you. It depends where it lands. So you got to really understand. So you got to get a feeling of, okay, what does this mean for the person that I'm reading for? It's got nothing to do about me. And when I do a reading, I always say at the really beginning, there's going to be dates, names, places that are going to come up. They mean nothing to me. And if it means nothing to me, like for example, if I pull Connecticut right out of my head, if I pull out Connecticut, never been to Connecticut, don't know what, but it's got to be about maybe about the person that I'm reading for. I said, you know, Connecticut, if I get a date in a place, like I said, Connecticut in 2002 or 2022 is going to be really, really important to you, that I know it's got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do about the person that I'm reading for. And afterwards they say, well, you know, none of this stuff made any sense, but I get emails all the time. You did a reading for me last year. You were like friggin' bang on. This one girl I did a reading for, she had a lot of relationship problems. But she was wondering when she's getting married, when I'm getting married. And so I gave her reading, and she said, well, yeah, thanks, whatever. Well, but I don't know any Rob. And, you know, and I said, well, he lives in this area, which is just south of where we live. She ended up meeting a guy named Bob, no, maybe not Rob, but Bob, and he lived about 15 kilometers or 6.5 miles away from where I said. So it's not 100%, but it's just in that general area. So
it's a lot like remote viewing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Very much so. Very much so. There's some interpretation of it, but a lot of times I get people walking away and say, you're full of bunk. But I do get emails all the time saying, thank you so much. Oh my God, you were so on the ball. Okay.
I'm very, very curious. Can I ask questions during the reading?
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Please do. Okay. Did you want to get started? You want me to start your reading?
I have one more big question for you. Did you use this during the military to maybe help some of the soldiers out that were maybe contemplating what's going on in their life?
You know what? Growing up, I've always been an intuitive kid. So I'm an MDE. I actually, when I was a child, I was actually born with a hole in my heart.
What?
And I was born with a hole in my heart.
How?
So, no, when I was born, I had a surgery, and I actually passed away. I was literally dead for 2 minutes, 10 seconds. And it's right there in my medical record. I had no idea until I saw my medical record and I was told about it. But even going through school, et cetera, I always had this, you know, you get these gut feelings.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, oh my God, this is happening. And I always had this kind of a knack of when people would ask, you know, hey, what should I do? And I say, well, you know, I really wouldn't want to do that. Or, you know, maybe don't buy that car or whatever. I always had a gut feeling about what people should do. And I've always had people, even when I was younger, come up and say, I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. You give the best advice. You give the best advice. I said, yeah. And I found it was slightly intuitive. So how did I get into tarot? So when I was getting out of the military, I kind of back then I specialized, well, I still do, in certain technologies. So I said, you know what? I want to up my skill set. So I was sitting in a lunchroom, drinking my morning coffee, getting ready to go to work to do what I did. And I was flipping through the pages of, like, you know, those community schools or community college books or the handouts, you know, you say, yeah, take this course, you get the word course, you take a computer course or learn a second language. I was flipping through and I'm looking through and flipping pages. And then over the intercom, they called me. There was a telephone call for me. So I took a sip of my coffee and I put it down to make sure that my page was kept and that nobody would take the book and kind of throw it away or throw it in the garbage or put it back on the shelf. I went, talked on the phone, I came back, and as I picked up my coffee, there was a coffee ring, you know, from sipping coffee, there was literally a ring from my coffee cup around tarot basic. And I looked at it and said, that would be a cool course to take. That would be a very cool course to take. So I took this tarot basic course. I also took another computer course, but I also took this tarot basic course. And I found out that the teacher said, you've got a knack for this. You've got like a serious knack and you should seriously think about developing this. Okay, so I took the advanced tarot course as well, which was awesome because we went through different decks. We went through like the history, went like really deep into tarot and what it means. But we also did a lot of meditation. We did a lot of people's beliefs and how to deal with the ethics of tarot. Like, for example, like I mentioned before, like you have a couple glasses of wine, you read tarot, right? But you never, ever, ever, ever read for somebody when you're drunk. Never. Or if they're drunk, never, ever, ever. Like, so there's certain ethics behind it as well. I don't take the onus. I always give everybody the onus is on the person. I'm not going to give you financial advice. I'm not going to say, hey, you should buy this stock. And if you ever have somebody that says, I'm 100% accurate, walk away. Walk away.
When the people on Instagram or they're putting on their phone number out there and you get a call in the middle of the night, not like the fortune teller calls where like you're listening to Madam Mystic and
Yeah.
they're not ethical because a lot of those people that are calling are also pretty drunk sometimes. It seems like that's when people get the most curious about their life or themselves or what's going on is when they've had something to drink. So if they do a reading, those aren't ethical tarots.
Not in my mind.
Okay.
Not in my mind at all. Because if I had somebody call me, like, I used to advertise when I lived in another city, and I had somebody call me. I advertised in Kijiji. Because I love reading tarot. I did it part-time. And one girl called me and she was like, I need to ask you a question. Like, so you're a tarot reader, you see the future, blah, blah, blah. And this is like at 2:00 in the morning. I said, listen, book an appointment. And she went on and on and on. And I said, listen, I got to go. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got to work. She says, I just need to ask, will my sister survive? I said, no, this isn't a time or place. You got me in the middle of the night. Like, Will, like, so she was half drunk as well. And I said, just call me when you're sober. Call me tomorrow. Let's book an appointment. And she literally at the end of the phone call said, if my sister doesn't survive, I'm going to effing phone you back and I'm going to effing hold you accountable. I said, that's not on me. That's on you. And she hung up. So I won't read for anybody who's hammered drunk. Nope.
That's good principles to be by. I mean, how many times do people get peer pressured into doing something that they shouldn't be doing? And it comes into an area too, if people don't get what they want or their way, a lot of times you tend to get really aggressive. It's where people overreact. Like if somebody, tells you, hey, a doctor comes in and says, hey, this person has cancer or something, you immediately get aggressive. Like you would do something. It's like, what do you want me to do? Like, we don't even have the technology to fix that. They get held accountable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's your fault that I'm sick. No, it's not my fault. It's just what happened. Okay, let's do this.
I'm actually kind of nervous.
Oh, don't be. The first thing I gotta ask you is like, do you want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly? Do you want to hear everything?
I would like to hear everything. Yeah.
Okay, good. I need your permission to do that first off. If you, like a lot of people, they want to know if their husband is cheating on them or the wife is cheating on them, blah, blah, blah. Or sometimes it does come up in the reading that somebody is cheating on them, either financially or emotionally. Then if they say no, just tell me the good stuff. Okay, I'll candy coat it for you. So during the reading, I usually not gonna look at you. I don't like looking at people. So what I might even do, I might even like close the computer screen so I don't see your face because I don't like looking at people when I.
If you want to point it down at the cards, if you want to bend it down so I can see, or whatever you feel comfortable with.
Well, as I draw the card, what I'll do is I'll pull the card up. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shuffle the deck. So I don't know much. I know a little bit about the States, other than your politics, which I'm pretty good at. Us Canadians love your guys' politics.
They're fun to watch, but it's scary for our country. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie.
Scary. It's so scary.
It's the movie Idiocracy where Terry Crews is the president. That's what I'm saying it is.
You know what? And I truly believe, and this is just my gut feeling, I truly believe by the year 2030, you're going to have a third party. You need you got your Democrats, you got your Republicans, but you need a third party in there to even out the keel.
I think by 2040, I would say we're probably going to be nobody's leaving the home ever, or we're going to be split up into different societies where people want to wear masks and people don't. We're just so divided right now, and I think like I'm not before we even got onto this meeting, I was driving to the store getting some groceries and I saw somebody put up on a giant banner or one of those billboards on their property said Trump is America, and it had an eagle on it. And then people were literally pulling off where there was traffic now, so people were stopped in the middle of the road getting out and throwing stuff at the billboard. I'm like, guys, like once we all start turning on each other, it's going to be a big divide, and that doesn't help anybody out.
What good is that? The only thing that's going to make you to help you feel better is go vote. Just go vote. Okay, so the good, the bad, and everything.
Can I
Things are going to come
choose?
up.
Well,
What's that? Sorry.
can I choose which I can do first? Like if I want the good last and the bad all first?
Actually, it's one big flow, my man.
All
It's just
right.
one big flow. Um, Names, dates, places are going to come to me. If you got a pen right now, or you're actually recording this, if you got a pen or paper, write them down.
I am going to.
At the end, if I don't cover something, then please, by all means, ask questions. Or if I feel like I'm talking too fast, just say, "Hey, Gord, can you, expand on that a little bit more for me?" Then I can. I'll draw another card for you. This is about you. Again, I'm just gonna whatever pops into my head, I'm gonna give it to you. They may not make sense right now, like I said earlier, but in 6 months' time, or 1 year time, and maybe 3 years, I don't go outside 3 years. If somebody says, "Oh, by 2030, you're going to be a millionaire," no, anything outside 3 years gets really, really fuzzy. Well, it does for me. But if anybody says they could read you past 3 years, they're full of bunk. They're full of bunk because there's too many variables.
So am I writing down the major words that you say, or they're just the name of the card you're pulling?
You could write down whatever you want, or just what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing that comes up to me, for example, before I even got onto this call and I said, Robbie, the first thing that comes to me, I don't know what's going on with your right knee, but there's something pretty serious going to happen by the end of next year with your right knee. Okay. So do you do like rollerblading or skating or anything like that?
No, I do not.
Anything with wheels?
No.
Okay, whatever it is, watch out, because by the end of next year, you're probably going to have to have a little bit of minor surgery on your right knee. Okay. Somebody that's popping into my head, a name Kathy or Catherine, and like I was talking earlier, I'm not sure where you live, but Connecticut in 2022 is going to be very important for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in a couple years' time. Okay, so I'm not even to ask you if you know a Catherine, because I don't. Oh, that's my mom, or that's my sister, or that's my ex-girlfriend.
She sounds hot.
So, and you said you're off on like a medical leave right now, or you're homesick from a job right now?
Yeah, I took off work. I had a medical court case.
Okay.
That's what happens when you find out that the medical insurance is trying to pull a fast one on you. One of the best parts about being from Canada is you don't have to deal with what I'm dealing with right now.
My God. Now we can talk about that later, but anyways, it's okay. Let's do this. The very, very, very first card that I pulled was the one that I was showing you earlier. So all I did was I just random shuffle. I should have been shuffling in front of you, but I just random shuffle them, and that's the very first card, the one we were talking about earlier about dreams. Ooh. Okay, so perfect. Okay.
Please be a death card.
There's no death card in there, but there are some very good cards in here. Okay, so the first one we have is the Six of Cups. Okay, the Six of Cups has everything to do. So tarot, it's all about the card, but it's also about the number. It's also about the colors, right? So the cups are all about emotion, and the six is all about balancing. Okay.
Don't be holding any information from me. If I'm dying, you better tell me.
No, you're not dying. Definitely not dying. Oh no, you're not dying. Okay, about a year ago. This is the first thing that pops in my head. About a year ago, did you have a relationship that kind of broke off all of a sudden?
No.
Not even a friendship?
Mm-mm.
Not even somebody who just kind of ghosted you and just walked away.
No.
Okay, just think about that for a while. Because what I've got right now is it's just somebody who's going to come back into your life. Okay, somebody that's kind of might there, but they're definitely going to come back into your life in a most positive way. Okay.
Okay.
So you want me to explain what the card means and then what I'm getting for you?
Sure.
Okay, so the Six of Cups is all about the balancing out your emotions. But what I'm getting is that it's the basic right now about balancing out your emotions right now. But when I say what does it mean to balancing out his emotions for him, it's something about something in your past and somebody that's going to come back pretty soon. Somebody from your past. It's either was a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a relationship that actually just kind of was good and it kind of balanced off and kind of petered off. But it's going to come back and it's going to come back in a good way. Because the card that's on top of that is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, everybody like, you've seen the show, Wheel of Fortune.
Bob Barker.
And then what's that? Yeah. So whenever you get the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about this, your fortune is coming on the upswing. Okay. So if there's an emotional trauma situation that actually happened with somebody about a year ago, it's actually going to swing in your favor. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever is developing was about a year ago. So you were in an accident?
An accident.
Were you in a car? Yeah, like were you like, okay, why? Okay, I usually don't ask questions, but I want to know why were you off medical leave? Like,
I've been for like the past year, actually it's coming up on a year. I've been trying to get a medication for an intestinal issue.
Okay.
And I thought it was a spine issue, or I thought it was an intestine issue for a long time. It turns out it might be a spine issue. But for the past, since COVID messed up everything, I had to jump through all these hoops with my insurance company to get a medication I needed, and they denied me.
Okay. This got nothing to do with it. Sorry about that. I just want to know if you were in a car accident or whatever. But anyways, for some reason, a car accident in the past came up. But this Wheel of Fortune, whatever it is, like you're in a really bad emotional state right now, but whatever's going to happen is going to come up in the upswing, okay? It's going to come up into your favor. And you're going to, January. So is it still going through court right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you're going to hear a decision for a while, but you probably won't hear anything like concrete and you won't have an actual piece of paper in your hand probably till about January, okay?
That sucks. I hope not January, man.
Yeah. So no, are you still able to get the medications?
No, man. I haven't had it. Like I said, they denied me. They won't even let me go pick it up. It's $500 a bottle. So.
Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's been 11 months trying to do this, and I'm like, I feel like in the tank, I definitely don't have much longer, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I think you're going to pull out of it, but I don't see, well, they may, there might be like a sub decision, but I don't think you're going to have like a hardcore piece of paper in your hand. And I see, if you do pay for this, I see money coming back to you. Okay. Oh, where do you live?
Ocean City, Maryland.
Ocean City, Maryland. Oh yeah, because you said Ocean City, the casino.
Yeah, beach town.
Yeah. Is that okay? I'm going to ask again because it's coming up again. Do you have any connection to Connecticut?
No connection to Connecticut.
Okay, for some reason Connecticut is coming up again.
That is the one state I probably couldn't spell if you asked me
to. For some reason, so when things like that come up again and again, or they keep on repeating themselves, it's like, make sure he understands Connecticut.
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell it, so it's kind of
on ... Connecticut. I just spell it out as it sounds, eh? I can't even spell Arkansas.
That might be the second place I don't know how to spell.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. For some reason, Connecticut is oh geez, it's got something to do with an education. So you're either going to have to take a recourse, you're going to like an online course or something, but it is, let's say, like a university or a school that's in Connecticut. That's going to be coming up for you. Like, you know, and it's like I don't know what a university or colleges would be in Connecticut. I have no idea, but it's definitely something to do with about bettering your education. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you do for work?
Work at a gym.
Oh, okay. They're going to want to take you some kind of, they're going to want to have you take some kind of a course or something, online course, or something that's got to do with Connecticut, because your work is going to want to do, hey man, do this, and it's going to definitely bring you more money in. It's going to be a bump up and raise type thing, a little more money, okay? Do you have a Joseph in your life? That just popped into my head.
A Joseph.
So a Joe or a Joseph?
Not a Joe or a Joseph, no.
Okay, because as soon as you started talking about what you did, like Joseph goes through my head. So he might be instrumental in getting this for you. Okay. Was the gym, I don't know the name of the gym, but was the gym at the brink of being sold about like in the middle of the summer? Would you know that?
No, I don't. I wouldn't know that one.
Okay, so I got a funny feeling that the gym was at the brink of maybe being sold, but they had the juggle thing again. It was with COVID and everything, right?
Whoa, my home gym, not the one I work at, but the one I worked out at every day for 8 years. That one got sold, and I lost that.
Okay, somebody's gonna buy it back, and it's gonna come back up, and you may be going back there again. But I think you're going to really, really, really like the owner, and they might even offer you a job there. Okay.
Okay.
And maybe that's where this Joseph, because I got a big sailor and somebody was in the brink of financial ruin, but I think it's going to come back up again in the spring. Okay. So so when I start thinking about, like, you know, what's the base of all that, I get this card. Okay. So the Chariot is all about it's all about movement and going forward, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the basic reading, just trying to get yourself to propel yourself forward, right? But it's a mixed card because it's always about, I don't know if you can see. You see
a black horse and a white horse, yeah.
A white horse and a black horse, right? But you notice that they're pulling in different directions.
Which means I can go in either way.
Doesn't matter where you go either way, but you notice that even the Chariot, the guy who's driving the Chariot, he's not even control. He's not got control of the reins, but he's just letting the horses go where they want. Okay. So that's where I get this job offer. I think you're going to get a job offer next March, April. And you're going to say there's going to be pros and cons both ways, but you're going to have to weigh out what's going to make you even happier. Okay. And I think with this new job, it's going to definitely be a part of your education. Well, we would love to hire you, but would you be willing to do this and take on this course? We'll pay for you take the course, you pay for it. It's going to be a small amount, like $100 or $200. You pay for the course, and when you pass, we'll pay you back type thing. And then once you take that course, we'll put you in. So it's going to be like a trial period, like a 3-month probation period. Within that probation period, whatever yeah. Because you'd be like a bit of an advisor. Do you dabble into like nutrition and stuff?
Yeah, I'm a big fitness guy.
Okay, so it's going to be one of the do something with nutrition and everything, and there might be, like, say, I'm just going to use this hypothetical. Let's say it is another gym, and you do go to that other gym. They say take this course on this product that we support. Then you take the course, you pass it, they pay you back the money, but you're going to become like not a nutritionist, but it could be somebody who's going to advise people on a way going forward, but it's going to be about a product, right? Okay. For the next one, so this is like the base of what's coming up. Okay. So the King of Pentacles. What money you have right now, try to hang on to what money you have right now. Okay. And be very, very cautious of somebody coming out and offering you, hey, do this, and you like a get quick rich scheme. Okay, be really, really, really cautious for the next 6 to 8 months. Just ask whatever it is, ask for more proof. There's lots of stuff happening online. Like, for example, the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, I know if Jen dabbled into her interview or her little interview, but she dabbles in online marketing, et cetera, et cetera. But if somebody approaches you, it's one of those get quick rich schemes. Says, hey man, within 6 months I was a millionaire. Walk away, run away. Okay. If anybody wants to offer you some money, just out of the blue, don't take it because there's going to be strings connected to it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yep. But hang on to what money you got, because somebody's, hey, like the Nigerian prince, hey, I got $5,000, put in your bank, and then you collect interest off, and send it to me, and I'll send you $50,000.
Yeah.
Well, just send me the $50,000. Yeah. So just hang on to your money. Okay. If it sounds too good to be true, ask for proof. Because when Jen does anything online, somebody says, well, this is like, I'm just using it as an example. This sounds too good to be true. It's just, it's not a get quick rich scheme. It's definitely not. It's an actual business. We're going to set you up in the business, and this is what it's going to do. Okay. And then they realize,
it might not be super important, but you said multiple times now, ask for proof. So I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we talked about like numbers and cards and everything. So this is actually like the 5 of Swords. Anything to do about swords actually lines up with spades. Anything to do with swords, got about your thoughts, your mind, and whatever is inside you, like, the break play forward. So the base of this card is basically, it means the war is over, everything is done. So I don't know if you know like much about history, but they would fight swords and swords and swords. And before the sun went down, they would stop fighting, and they would collect their dead, and they would collect their weapons, they would collect everything, and then they would all go back to the camps. They'd dress their wounds or do whatever, and they lick their wounds. And if you can fight, you can fight the next day. If you can't, you can't. But then they would collect their all in, and with the sunrise, you'd go back at it again. So anything to do with 5. So this is the 5 of Swords. And I think this is self-defeating thoughts. Okay. And this is at the very, very top of your reading. Okay, you said the good, bad, the ugly. I think around late November and going into December, things are going to get really, really bunged up into your head. Okay. I think it's not self-defeating, but I have you very, very confused about a lot of things that be going on. Emotionally, there's going to be a lot of things going on, and the thoughts you're going to be having are going to be taking you all over the place, and it's going to be really hard to try to quiet them down.
Again, dude, my September wasn't easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but this is at the very top of your reading, so it's one of your very top warnings. And when I get a card like this is, all 5s are misery cards. All 5s are horrible cards. Yeah, so the battle's gonna be over. Collect your thoughts, collect your wits about you and everything. But definitely don't get into your mindset that you've been defeated. You haven't been. It's just it's just your spin that you're putting on things. Okay.
Kind of like a different perspective. I should be looking at it.
Yeah. Okay, this just popped in my head for some reason. Do you live or do you know somebody who's in an apartment building?
No.
Okay, what I got was something to do with it, and this has got something to do with an apartment building, like the 3rd or 4th floor within an apartment building, and that's going to kind of set you off. Something that's going to really, really set you off.
What do you mean by set off? Like upset me?
Yeah. That's going to be the trigger to say, fuck, why does this always happen to me? It's always happened to me. This always happens to me. Why is it always me? And that's where the self-defeating stuff is going to happen. I can't get this. I can't get that. I can't get this. Why is it always me? And then that's when you're going to start, really, things are going to start bunging up in your head. But it has something to do with an apartment building, like a 3rd or 4th floor. But it's not like a tall 60-floor apartment building. It's like a 5 or 6 floor apartment building, but like a 3rd or 4th floor. Okay. Are you in a committed relationship right now?
No.
Okay.
Does my hand count?
What's that?
Does my hand count?
Everybody goes home with twins, my man. Twins. Yeah, because I think you're gonna. It's got to do with a girl. Okay. I don't know if you've had problems in the past, but man, it's gonna be something. Fucking women. Okay. This is a very good card. So in the very, very near future, the Emperor. It says Emperor card. So it's one of the major arcana. Okay. So it being it's a 4. So you can see the Roman numeral over there, 4, right? So the Emperor's got everything to do like the Godfather would be the Emperor, or somebody who has a kingdom would be the Emperor, right? But what I like about 4 is everything to do with a 4 is about stability. So we have 4 seasons, we have 4 winds, we have 4 legs on a table. But and that's really the example I like using. Like there's usually 4 legs on a chair. You take one away, kind of unstable, or you pay the 5th one, it kind of makes it wobble. But everything to do with 4 is all about stability.
Aren't the 4 horsemen involved?
If you believe in that.
I'm open to everything.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Bible. Right after reading. So I think next fall, I'm getting a feeling about a year from now. Do you know a Kevin or a Kelvin? Somebody with a K name, like a Kevin or a Kelvin, or like somebody with a K or a hard C, first start name, is definitely going to be taking you under his wing. Okay, because he's going to say, you know what, you got potential. I like what you're doing. I like your ethics. I like the way you work. I like who you are, and I like the way you treat people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's going to take you under your wing. And he's going to teach like the businessy end of where you're working. Kind of like a journeymanship. Yeah, like a journeymanship. But he's going to say, I like what you're doing. He's going to like out of the pick of the crop type thing. He's going to say, I like what you're doing. I really, really like what you're doing. Let's get you moving along. But it's going to open up a ton of doors too. For some reason, I got 2024 popped into my head because both you and this person are going to do like an investment, a financial investment, and it's going to do very well for you. Not Bill Gates very well or Steve Bezos very, very well, but it's going to put you into a higher tax bracket.
Should I be worried because you did warn me before that ask for proof? Hold on to my money. So should I invest in that 2024 issue, or should I wait? So, there might be something before.
What I'm saying is that was in the next 6 or 8 months, really watch your money and don't fall for tricks, et cetera, et cetera. But this is like 2024.
Okay.
This is like a couple of years from now, 2 or 3 years from now. There's going to be an investment opportunity with somebody, and I would take it. Okay, because I think it's going to do very well for you.
I need to get that tattooed on my hand, 2024, because I'll forget this piece of paper somewhere.
Yeah. So you're not in a committed relationship right now, but I got a funny feeling next year is going to be, yo, yeah, my man. Woohoo. So I think you're going to be, next year, I think you're going to go through maybe 2, maybe 3 relationships. Okay. But I think, so how old are you?
22.
22. Okay. You're 22. I think there's going to be a slightly older woman that's going to take a shine to you. But I'm not saying it's older, like 40 or like a Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher thing. I think it's going to be more a woman in her early 30s going to take a shine upon you.
You said Ashton Kutcher. I had to laugh at that.
I think there's a woman in her early 30s is going to take a shine to you, whatnot, but she's not going to look like she's in her 30s. She's going to look a very young woman. And she's going to have a slight accent,
Oh,
a slight European accent,
that's
which is
my fucking trigger right there.
either a Spanish or a Portuguese accent. So she could be
Irish?
coming. Oh,
Damn it.
did Jen tell you that she grew up in Ireland? When she gets a couple of beer in her, her accent comes back?
I love an accent, I'm telling you.
Yeah. When I was in Ireland, I said, oh, or even Scotland, oh, put on American accent, please, or else I'm going to have to spend some private time. Nope. I'm getting like Western Europe. So I'm getting like Spain, Portugal, and around that area. Okay. But it's not like German, but it's going to be a beautiful accent. Okay.
All right, so I have to worry about before the 90 days, one of those house order wives. That's the money investment. But one of them's going to pay off.
No. Jen watches that faithfully. Oh, 90 Day Fiance. Oh, I just go downstairs. I can't do it. But yeah, but what I can tell you is that she will be financially stable. Okay, so I got a funny feeling she's going to be like a teacher, or she teaches, or she is like a mentor in the community type thing. But she's financially stable. She's not going to be rich by any means, but she's going to be financially stable. So she's going to have her own job. She can have her own money. When you guys go out, she says, "Oh, let this be my treat," and she's going to have to worry about it type thing. But she's going to be in a very stable job. But and I don't know what your opinion on this is, but I think she's only been in the United States for maybe since 2009, 2010.
Hey, if it's love, it's love, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm stuck on her, okay? Because usually when I want to move on with the reading, but I'm still stuck on her. I still feel I have to give you more information about her.
Can you describe her?
Blonde. 5'6", 5'7", dark hair.
My mom?
Shoulder length hair.
Dude, you're describing my mom right now.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's she doing tomorrow night, eh?
That is not legal in America.
There's so many men that marry women that are just like their moms. Anyways.
I hope not. I really hope it's the opposite.
Yeah. No, but she's going to be really, really, really nice. You're going to meet her someplace. Okay, I'm just going to say, you're going to meet her, like bump into her, whatever. I'm going to say Target. Just pulling that out of my head. You're going to bump into her at Target. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I'll get out of your way type thing. And have a good day. And you're going to go, and she's gonna be striking. She's gonna have like little striking smiles and everything. She's gonna resonate with you. You're gonna say, oh. And then a couple weeks later, you're gonna be someplace else, totally someplace else. Let's say you're at a Starbucks. I'm gonna pull it out of my ass. You're gonna be at a Starbucks and you make your order and everything. Somebody's gonna tap you on the shoulder, and you're gonna turn around. She says, "Are you following me? Are you my stalker?" Type thing, okay? Because you're gonna bump into each other again. So it's gonna be like within a month, and she's gonna remember you, and you're gonna remember her. At that point in time, maybe I am. We better talk about it over coffee. Then maybe I won't have to anymore. And you're going to have giggles. But yeah, I see it's going to be a very, very nice, warm relationship. But I think you're going to be totally shocked when she says she's like 31, 32. Okay? And I have that for late summer next year. But I think you are going to, before then, you're going to go through a couple of relationships before then. Like, I don't know what you call it, but you're kind of interested in a girl, and like a couple weeks later, like something.
That's what we called sex, my man.
Yeah. So for example, and this is just myself personally, and I tell a lot of people this, like, oh my God, she's gorgeous, or he's gorgeous. So there's being attractive and there's being attracted. So I might look across a room and say, oh my God, she's drop dead stupid gorgeous. But if she puts a cigarette in her mouth, I say, I don't find that, I'm not attracted to that at all. You know what I mean?
Depends how they light the cigarette.
Yeah, well, that's just for me. Or you get to know her and then you find out that she's actually white supremacist, which
that's a turn off. That happened to you. What do you mean?
That happened to me, and she was trying to recruit me. Anyways, that's okay. So that's.
Hang on a second. I'm more interested in that right now.
We'll get into that. Let's finish your reading. Do you meditate or pray or do anything solitude-y?
I don't ever sleep, so I spend a lot of times with my thoughts.
Good. Because the next one is, it's a 9. It's a Hermit card. Does that look familiar to you?
I do spend most of my time alone.
Yeah. Does the art look anything familiar to you?
Looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi, to be honest with you.
Good, good. Or Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I mean, the cloak, I guess it's because the light seems a little bit like the Grim Reaper a little bit too. Like the
Okay,
journeyman, the guy, the ferryman that takes you across to the other side.
bingo, bingo. That actual card, the ferryman, who's actually, but it's not in your reading, but there is one in the deck. So for the Hermit, actually, I don't know if you're into Led Zeppelin, Bundle of Sticks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that actually does. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what had happened? So this deck came to be before that even happened. So what happened? A big backstory on this card. I think it was Jimmy Page he went for a tarot reading when he was like 17, 18 years old. And you're going to be famous. You're going to make lots of money. You're going to influence the music industry. People are going to be falling at your feet. Blah, 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 blah. And you're going to be one of the world's most famous guitar players in the whole world. And he walked out of this saying, fuck you. Here's your 10 pounds, whatever. Who did Jimmy Page become? Right? So when they came up with Bundle of Sticks, the album Bundle of Sticks, when you open up the album cover, that on the inside. Because he gave the card, says, because he was so much in his head, right? So the Hermit card, it's all about finding guidance. And where it lays in your reading right now, it's telling me like things are going to get very, very busy in your head right now. Okay, so I don't know if you believe in the power of prayer or the power of meditation or whatever. I don't sleep either. I literally sleep 4 hours a night. 6 hours, it's a great night. But I don't sleep either. But I make sure before I go to bed that I calm all the voices and all those feelings and everything that's in my head. I try to calm them down, and I find out I sleep a little bit better sometimes. But I guess it's feeling like you're gonna have to take up a practice like of actual prayer or meditation, or learn how to meditate, or just close your eyes and listen to Tibetan singing or ringing bowls or something like that. Just 5 minutes a day. Just 5 minutes at the end of the day. Because things are going to get upstairs here for you are going to get very, very busy come November, December, okay?
You're killing me, bro. That's like the holidays.
Wait for it. Okay.
If you tell me what I'm getting for Christmas, I'm going to be very pissed off.
I'm not going to tell you what you get for Christmas.
Okay.
Do you have a brother, an older brother?
I do.
Do me a favor. I don't know where he is or what he does. Okay, as soon as I get this card, okay, you like you said, the good, the bad, the ugly, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Have him go to a doctor. Okay, or just ask when's the last time he had a check, like a thorough checkup. I don't know what you guys get in the States, but a thorough checkup. We're talking like blood work, urine work, urinalysis, prostate exam, everything like that. Have him get to a doctor, okay? What's his name?
Mike.
Yeah, have him.
Is it bad of me as a person that I get upset, not when a bad card comes in my favor, but when a bad card goes on to somebody else? Because immediately I start getting triggered, like I need to tell.
That just means you're an empathetic person. That's fine. That's totally fine. Because we not worried about ourselves. We always worry about the ones we love, right? But yeah, have him get to a doctor. I don't think it's too serious, but I think it's one of those things, thank God we caught it now type thing. Okay, just have him get to a doctor within the next 6 months. So I don't know how it works down there. We just We just go to the doctor.
You
I
mentioned
want a full
something.
exam.
You mentioned something earlier about like a long connection, like a year, a relationship, a thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't talked to my brother, and I think this will be the second year coming up. So
Oh, so
maybe,
that's the relationship that went on its way.
maybe not a sexual one, but one
Oh,
of emotion when it comes to, I guess, love and family.
yeah, so exactly it. That emotional connection that you had in the past. But like I said, it's like about a year ago when we just lost total contact. Okay. Um, yeah. Because believe you me, I don't know how you guys fell out or how you separate anything, but it just trying to find that connection again. Because I think because you have the Wheel of Fortune on top of that. You may hear, "Oh man, I've been thinking about you so much recently," and then he's like, I'm sorry, I fucked up, whatever, blah 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 blah. This is all my fault. Should have called earlier. Thank you for calling me," and he's going to pour his heart out. It's going to definitely 100% work in your favor. Okay, so if that's the relationship that you've lost in the past, the base of what's happening, it's going to work definitely in your favor. You might find that reconnection again, but definitely, if you do ever talk to him, have him get to a doctor, or ask him, like, if how you been, and start talking about your medical thing that's happened. He said, "Oh man, I'm trying to get this, my intestines, they find blah blah blah, and medications, hey, how's it working out for you? How's Obamacare working out for you?" type thing, or how's Trump care, whatever they're calling it down there.
It's called dirt. That's what we call it.
Yeah. How's it working out for you? Like, and then he'll say, "Oh man, I've got this issue." Yeah, and have them check his PSA. Just say, "Oh, I don't know if you guys pay for it. I don't know if he would have benefits with what he does in his job and anything, but definitely, like, everything needs to be checked." Okay, especially his prostate. He may be young, but still get it checked out. Okay. But it will definitely be okay. So let me explain this card. So remember I talked about you had this one, this 5 card. Remember this
Yes.
one? This is also another 5 card. You ever heard of the term "don't cry over spilt milk"?
Yeah.
So you see the 5 card there. He's got his back to you. He's distraught, and he's worrying over the 3 spilt mugs of wine. He's worried about that, but he doesn't see the 2 full ones behind him. So everything might be looking like despair, but there's promise. So you see the 2 cards behind. So don't dwell on what's spilt milk or the spilt wine or anything. Don't dwell on that. Look deep, because you still have 2 full mugs. And when I teach my course, I said, who can carry 5 goblets of wine? Nobody. We've only got 2 cans. So don't cry over these, because you can't carry them all. You can't carry all that emotional burden. Remember, about cups are about emotion right now. You can only carry these 2, because you've only got 2 hands.
That's a great freaking perspective.
Yeah. So what's also promising about this card is the castle off in the distance. So this is the one I got about your brother Mike. If there's a castle off in the distance, even though there's water separating you, how are you going to get there? Who knows? But don't dwell on this. So if he does, like I said, get to the doctor, find out what's going on. But you'll work through it, because there's promise there, and there is a castle off in the distance. Whenever somebody gets bad news, whether from a doctor or an insurance agent or whatever like that, the person says, "Oh," and their emotions just crash. And I don't know if he's ever been suffered with bouts of depression or anxiety or something like that. But before you get to that point, you got to start concentrating on what you have. Okay. Another metaphor, a lot of people say, "Well, I just lost my house. I just lost this. I got, blah, 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 foreclosures." I said, okay, but look you got a 5th wheel camper. Like, you can live under your 5th wheel in a Walmart parking lot for a while, until you get some more money behind you, because now you don't have a mortgage. You don't have to pay that, whatever. So yes, you're losing your house, but you have what do you call it, Winnebago or motorhome? You still got something to live with, or you got family here that you can actually go live with. So yes, that's distraught, but what's the 2 glasses of wine? Okay, so that your brother came up. Okay, I remember I just pulled a card, randomly out of the deck, and I showed you this one.
The emotion.
Yeah. So this is the 7 card, the 7 of Cups. So there's 7 deadly sins, but there's 7 days of the week. There were 7 apostles. So the 7 is known as the holy number.
It's the lucky number,
So
7.
lucky number 7, triple sevens. Everything about sevens is luck, 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 luck. Okay. So this would be the 7 of Cups. So
You're telling me to gamble.
apart from that, please don't do that. I'm not telling you to gamble, but what I am telling you is that so being a lucky card, emotions, with everything that's going to be happening, everything's going to be happening in the next I'm going to say 6 to 9 months. I think by November next year, I have this growing clarity, this instant growing clarity, and then you say, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh my God, that's why that happened. So some people call this the dream card. Your dreams come true. There is a saying out there that your thoughts have magnets that draw all the effects towards you. So if you think that you're going to be poor, you think you're going to be sick, and it just makes your body sicker. Oh, the universe says, okay, you're going to want to be sick. Okay, fine, you're sick. But if people that start thinking that they're rich, or thinking that their life is going to get better, or thinking that, tomorrow's going to be a better day than today. Tomorrow's going to be, after a little while, those days get better and better and better and better. Those events start falling in front of you. Just like I've noticed with my life, everything is literally lined up to today. You haven't suffered with an anxiety in the past, have you?
Yeah, it's kind of my stick. I kind of suffer from severe depression and anxiety.
Okay, are you on any kind of medication for that right now?
Nah, I took it once. So actually, I took it for a little while, then just cut it clean. Probably not the smartest idea, but I did. I like to balance out my own thoughts. If I can't do that and I need the help of a medication, then I just, it's a pride thing with me.
Yeah, I totally understand. Sometimes they have the opposite effect, right?
Exactly.
But I definitely, so they're like I said earlier, for the next 3 or 4 months, things are going to get really busy upstairs. But I think by this time next year, it's going to be very, 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 very clear, extremely clear. It's almost as if like you pull the Willy Wonka golden ticket. Okay.
That's probably one of my best childhood dreams, is winning a freaking golden ticket, to be honest.
Oh, really?
You don't know how much candy I ate back in the day to think that was actually a possibility. It's like, we're not even in a competition, or that they're not even doing that sponsor right now. And you're just like, I don't care. There'll be a golden ticket in one of these chocolate bars. And that is the dead honest truth. That is not even a joke. That's my level of intelligence.
So this podcasting thing that you're doing, have you ever thought about making money with it?
No, I don't want to make money with it.
What if you're offered like a sponsorship?
I have a few sponsors, but they're all people I've talked to and people I believe in.
Okay.
I believe in everyone. I don't want that to come off that I don't, but people I've tried their product and I'm like, this is good stuff.
Yeah. Because I think this, what you're doing right now, like this here, I think it's going to be a bit of a money generator for you in the future. Okay. Like a stipend. Somebody might say, hey, we're going to set up these three people interview. We like your style. We like the way you do things. We like your questioning technique because you're a very intelligent man. We don't want any celebrity doing it. We just want you to be real people with some real people. And I think they're going to be start lining people up for you. And if you do this, we'll give you $50 an interview. You do these, we'll pay you $200 a week to do these 4 or 5 interviews. Sure. And it's free reign. You can do whatever you want. Not, here's the questions you're going to ask them, okay? So it might be a little bit of money in your pocket.
Like I said, the love of the feedback of being on it is payment enough for me, man. Just like you like reading these cards, that feeling, nothing's better than that, man. No money in the world can amount to that.
Okay, I'm just gonna like a few things that just come in like a residual. Are your mom and dad still together?
No.
Yeah. Because I think there might be, I don't know where your dad is or what he does, whatever, but I think there might be one of those. Um, I don't think your mom's gonna let you know, but I think he's gonna like not want to try to come back into her life, but my mom might be in a relationship that, or some kind of a relationship or work relationship or a personal relationship that's going to make him extremely jealous. And I think he's going to try to make her life miserable. And I do see like a bit of a restraining order coming up in a couple of years. Okay.
Anything, it might be the reverse opposite. Mom, if you're listening, you know it's true.
Okay. I do see a restraining order like between your mom and dad. Okay. Does, um, and I see, I'm not sure which one, but I see like, I don't know if they live in the same city or the same state or within driving distance of each other, but I do see one moving further south. Like, why does that come? Like, I don't know, what is this? Like a Carolina, either like North or South Carolina makes sense. Not Florida, but just
Connecticut.
kind of Connecticut. Maybe Connecticut. I don't know, where is Connecticut? I don't know.
I feel like
It
that
just
might
pops.
actually be north.
Okay, might be north. Yeah, but I have one of them moving further south. Like, you can't jump in a car and go egg their house type thing. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
No, man. I mean, you said some stuff that I really kind of I could click to. The brother thing for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, I guess it's a waiting game too. Trying to
Yep.
figure it out too. I mean, I appreciate you, reading them off to me and everything too. I know it's probably got to be a little bit different doing it through a Zoom, but it's kind of the way the world works now. But I appreciate that, seriously.
Oh, like I said, I just connect with a person. So that I can disconnect. Any questions at all?
I'm hoping that I get more clarity on that girl that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, you want me to a little bit? Want me to say more?
What'd you say?
You want me to expand on her even more?
Nah. I mean, if you can, that'd be cool. I mean, to be honest, I,
Yeah,
I
let
would
me
like
let
to
me
know.
pull in let me pull another card for her. Ooh, wow. Probably
That's a
one of
sexy card, dude. You could have
it
pulled out
is.
any card, and that's a sexy
It,
card.
it is. So this is literally it's the world, and it's number 21 of the deck of the major arcana. It's top one of the best cards you can. So basically, like, whoever this woman is, she's going to be your world, man. And it's going to, whether the relationship you're going to have is going to be phenomenal. And even if it's not something that goes into a marriage or into well, it's going to be a fun relationship, I'll tell you that. But even after that, if it doesn't work out like as a romantic relationship, you guys are still going to be very, very, very good friends. And she's going to be the world to you. Okay.
It's good to know.
Okay. Yeah. She's going to be the world to you. Um, even as do you like to dance? Because she's a dancer.
If she's what you're saying she is, I'll learn to dance, my
Yeah,
friend.
there you go. Yeah, yeah, she seems really, really awesome. I do think there's going to be like as relationships progress, like, date number 4, let's go at it, type thing. I think it's going to progress that way. But what I do see is that like I call it a pair bond. You guys are going to be together forever and awesome, like, when maybe not married. If it doesn't work into a marriage, it's still going to be an extremely good friendship. I've got a friend, Jackie. I've known her for 37 years. Her and I dated for 6 weeks, but she had this thing for cowboys. And I was like, hey, well, I was in Calgary at the time, the the home of the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. And she had this thing. Well, she was a country girl, and she had this thing for cowboys. And I wasn't really a cowboy. I was kind of like a wannabe cowboy. So anyway, she went with some rodeo guy and got married and had children. But her and I, we're still friends. It's been 37 years. Yeah.
Sometimes that's better than a relationship, is just having a close friend.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, somebody can just. She's my beer drinking buddy. So whenever I don't live in Calgary anymore, but whenever I get to Calgary, I call her up. She's let's do some beer. Yeah. Okay, let's go for a drink. Yeah, she's my Wednesday wing and beer girl. So overall, everything looks pretty good. Everything looks pretty good. You do have some major arcana, and you do have some. Is it well balanced? So there won't be no. I don't get anything like diagnosis of cancer or a diagnosis of this or you losing your house or wherever you live or I don't.
It's not like the movies. It's a little bit more broad spectrum, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like but you do want the death card, but you didn't get it this time. It's unfortunate. Yeah, other than that, phenomenal reading. Really, really good.
Gordon, I appreciate you for doing that for me. Seriously, man. Is there anything you want to promote? Is there anything that you have that you would like to let people know? Maybe where to find you if you have a site or anything maybe your wife might have that you can promote for the end of the show?
You know what? Her and I are in business together, and she probably promoted it on during her interview. What we do is we actually we invite people and we set them up on their own personal businesses. And like a lot of people, especially with this COVID thing, we're finding a lot of people are finding they've been laid off from their job and they find out now their jobs are no longer there, and I don't know what's happening in the States, but up here in Canada, we have something called a CERB. So the past 4 or 5 months, the government's been giving us if you've been laid off, $2,000 a month.
Jesus, ours was only 600. Actually, wait. Ours actually might have been way more than yours. Never mind. Ours was $800 or no, $600 a week. Well, so around the same, yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people are finding that they want to get back to work, but now they're finding out that either the where they were working is went bankrupt or are closing their doors, and now there's unemployment insurance. So we've been getting quite a few people coming to us and say, hey, I want to own my own online business. I want to be my own boss. And we show them how to do that. And we do business with a company that is with a Better Business Bureau. And you do get tax forms, and it is you have to be a registered business. So a lot of people say, hey, come buy this, and you get stuck in these pyramid schemes or these multi-level marketing things. It's a lot of people say, well, you're an MLM or you're a pyramid scheme. We're not like that because we paired with a company, like I said, that actually is a part of the Better Business Bureau. They've been around since 1974. And they just like seeing people succeed. So we felt very comfortable about it.
One more time, what's the business called again?
They can get a hold of us is at gordonjen.com. And if they come to gordonjen.com, they just give us, a little bit of information like your name and your email address. That's all we ask. We don't like any financial information ever. And just by doing that, there's a little button at the bottom of we call it our landing page. You said, save my seat. Because every Tuesday and Thursday, we actually have a live webinar. And we explain people how we're going to set you up in a business. It's about a 1 hour presentation. But if they don't have to wait Tuesday or Thursday, let's say they want to do it today, and they come to our site, then as soon as they give us the information, they'll be taken to a page. And at the very top of the page is the video, the most recent video. And there's people there with testimonials, and there's people there that I'll be honest with you, like every business, you got to feed it, you got to generate it, and you got to advertise. And it's some people become wealthy very quick, some do, but for the majority, it's like any other business. You start breaking even in about a 2-year time, but it's your business and your business only. And what you put into it is what you get back. Yeah, so that's what we do, and that's going to be our passion. Like we're at the age right now where this business will be running for us, and it runs in the background. You don't have to be in a brick and mortar store. You don't have to be at the doors. You don't have to open up or anything. It just runs in the background for you.
I'll make sure I link it in the description. And Gordon, thank you very much for the reading and giving me your time today, man.
Pleasure's been entirely mine, sir.
Thank you for listening to this episode Out of the Blank podcast, and stay tuned for our next episode.